What up? This will be the first video I do in a series of explaining why so many people like myself grow such an interest in essentially creating energy. And it's not what most people think, which is a lack of understanding. I think it truly begins when a specific element, power generation, is understood, which would be electromagnetic induction. It's defined even today as a phenomenon, a fact or situation that is observed to exist or happen, especially one whose cause or explanation is in question. And I'm making this video to hopefully answer that question with a one word answer. It's chemistry. If you know anything at all about chemistry, then you probably understand that atoms can have free electrons, resulting in a negatively charged atom. They can lack an electron, resulting in a positively charged atom. They can have equal amounts of protons and electrons, making them stable. A common misconception of magnets is that if you were to ask, are they charged? Anyone would tell you a magnet consists of a north pole, positively charged, and a south pole, which is negatively charged. The poles cancel one another out. The true answer is a lot more complex than that. A magnet is the same material all the way through. Its protons and neutrons are arranged in a near perfect sequence from one end to the other, causing it to behave more like a single atom than it does a hunk of metal. A magnet's north pole is made of protons and neutrons. It will overall be positively charged. A magnet's south pole is made of protons and neutrons, and it will overall be positively charged. A magnet's electron cloud will surround the magnet, entering the south pole and leaving the north pole. All of these electrons carry a negative charge. The difference at the poles of a magnet is that at either pole, electrons are moving in the opposite direction. Considering whether or not a magnet is electrically charged would bring into question the number of total electrons in its cloud versus the number of protons in its structure. And I couldn't tell you whether or not if it were charged, but I can tell you that almost all of our electricity is generated from these clouds. And these clouds are used and reused over and over again, and they scarcely weaken over a period of 20 years. A permanent magnet must be very good at getting its electrons back from its surroundings, or they would need very frequent replacement. When power is generated, a copper wire is passed in front of a permanent magnet. Its magnetic flux causes the electrons in the copper wire to move, depending on the pole of the magnet that it just passed. When the wires pass rapidly by alternating north and south magnetic poles, you get what we call an alternating current in the wire. This causes a chain reaction and pushes this electron movement from one end of the wire to the other. Combine this conventional explanation of alternating current with the laws of thermodynamics, and what is explained is that magnets provide needed flux to move the electrons around that are already in the conductor. This isn't entirely wrong, but what is never said is that some of these magnets' electron cloud does in fact enter the wire and replaces any electrons lost through heat, light, and electromotive forces. These magnets becoming unstable will then restabilize themselves through a process not yet understood. But they would have to. If they didn't, they would need frequent replacement and very regular maintenance. If they didn't, the ways that we currently produce electricity simply would not work. I hope that you found the video informative, and hopefully it could explain why so many people pursue inventing, free power. It does stand to reason that if we could only move a generator with electromotive forces or neatly arranged permanent magnets, then it should be possible to create energy. In my next video, I'll be touching on this even more and sharing with you some of my ideas on how this could be done. And also, I'm going to take apart a generator that appears to be doing that already. I don't know if whoever manufactured it hid a battery in there that would possibly power electromagnets instead of permanent magnets. That's one way that it could be putting out more than it's put in. It also could just not contain laminated steel discs, which would trap the electron clouds very well for induction, but also makes it very hard to turn a generator. So I'm curious as to what's inside it. And like I said, I'll be taking it apart, and hopefully I'll just record, everything that happens, just to kind of share with you guys where we're at on this. So, yep, thank you.